Right, it is live on YouTube. Right, it is live on YouTube. And is it live on? Right, it is live on YouTube. Okay, cool. And is it live on? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's just join the chat. Yeah, let's just go in there. That's one place I can actually go. Hello, hello.
Hi.
So, we are live on YouTube and Facebook now.
Okay, welcome guys to the weekly meetup. So as usual, we'll go over some things that have happened on my side of things over the last week, and I'll cover some things that are upcoming on the development side. And then after I'm done with that, I'll pass it over to the rest of the team to give their own updates. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is a little bit about the side state and what's been going on with that. So we are expecting to launch a testnet for the side state in January. It'll be the pseudo-anonymous side state using the Bitcoin UTXO model. It won't be a proof of authority side state. We're hoping to have introduced by then. It should be a good place to test if those systems work. And assuming it all works as planned, our next plan after that is to transition from the Bitcoin UTXO model, which covers how tokens are minted and transferred to the side state, and move over to the Monero style system. Now, of course, what's really nice about how this design works is if for whatever reason that didn't work out, it's very easy to implement other security models or privacy models in place of this. So, for example, we could always look to use something like a Snarks based privacy model. So, it's a very flexible system, and perhaps after we've done worked out the kinks with it, others might find use in it for their own projects. Now, I'd like to give a small update regarding the forum. So later this week, the forum will receive a fairly massive UI overhaul. It will look to improve a lot of things in regards to the forum about the way things currently look, the way information is currently presented and flows to the user. So
one of the
later
things, for
this
example,
week that we're looking to correct with these changes is the login flow. So to give an idea of what I mean there, if you don't have an EOS account and you post on the forum, you need to create an anonymous identity. And it's not exactly very obvious at this point in time where you need to go and do that. You sort of need to find it in settings on your own. So it would really be nice, for example, if all the login stuff was sort of located in the same place. Do with this update is we want to reduce the use of modals. So that's like windows popping out that have a lot of information in them. So for example, it's fine if we use a modal as like an error message. When you're presented with a message, like you need to wait a few seconds. Large amounts of data in it. So, for example, when you click settings right now on the form, there's tons of information in there, and really, settings should be a page of its own. Likewise, we have that same problem with post history, and even when you go to create a new post or when you want to do a full reply. Ever since the introduction of Quick Reply, I think a lot of people have been using it over Full Reply, so I think it's fine if we were to move Full Reply over to its own page, as well as creating a new post to be its own page. This is currently how it's done with Reddit and a lot of other traditional form software, so I think it would be fine if we took that approach as well. Now, given that there's going to be a big UI update, the existing themes will not be available on the new update, at least not right away. So there will not be a night theme available, and the current UI overhaul is more oriented towards a day theme, so I guess that'll still be there. One of the upsides with the UI overhaul, though, is it'll be easily rebrandable for third parties to be able to run their own form software and sort of tailor it to feel more like their own brand. And I think we'll have another team member who talks a little bit about this in their discussion. And I think the last thing that I want to talk about in regard to the forum is what's going on with the referendum. So there's been a lot of discussion about this in our previous meetups about the EOS referendum. It's a process in which community members of the EOS community can propose certain things and have other people in the EOS community vote on it and provide feedback. Currently, at this point in time, our referendum interface, as well as all the other interfaces that I'm aware of, only support yes and no proposals. But recently, EOS Canada produced a spec document which introduced a bunch of different types of proposals. So, for example, not only yes and no proposals, but also proposals that have different options. So, for example, um, you could have completely different options, like what's your favorite color, red, green, or blue, or you can have other different types of polls where you're allowed to select multiple options. So we'd like to get full referendum support rolled out later this week as well, along with all the upcoming UI changes. Now, as you may know, based on our previous meetups and discussions, we have begun discussions with a very knowledgeable UI UX developer. So after the UI overhaul has taken place, we'll likely be bringing them in to clean up the remainder of it. And assuming that goes well, we'll likely continue to use them going forward in the future. So the last thing I want to share is a bit on the tokenomics of the form. So currently at this point in time, the only aspect that Atmos really plays in the form relates to upvoting content on the form. And we're getting closer to sort of outlining the overall usage of Atmos in the form and how and the role it plays. So I'm going to share some documents in the meetup chat to sort of cover what I've just talked about, specifically the EOS Canada referendum spec, and I'm going to share a document that is a draft currently that covers some of the ideas that we've been thinking about and talking about regarding tokenomics. And with that, I think that's pretty much the summary that I have to cover in terms of things that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to pass it over to the rest of the team members so they can discuss a little more.
Hello, everybody. I just want to give you guys an update on the team. We currently hired or employed Blue Baleno, Jack Wales, who is a very knowledgeable member in the forum, and he has been contributing significantly in our discussions about where this forum and the token is heading. Would you like to give us an update on what's going on, Blue, or what you've been working on?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. I think you guys might have heard my voice once or twice. So yeah, so I'll be taking over Lutz for doing some of the marketing and community management. So please do reach out to me. So just staying on that front, we are gonna take a slightly different marketing approach where I call it going to where the people is. So we're gonna we're gonna try to be a lot more active on Telegram. That is the favorite platform of the EOS community. We have set up a Telegram group just now. There's only 7 members. I'll share a link to that in the chat shortly. So please join there. I know some of you guys are not in favor of Telegram because it is a little bit messy, but that is where a very large portion of the EOS community is interacting. So I think it's important that we engage with those communities. So obviously Reddit, Twitter, Steemit, Medium, YouTube, we're live on YouTube and Facebook, and I have set it up so that in the future when we have community members that prefer those platforms for interaction, they would be able to ask questions on those platforms, and we will be able to relay the answers to this meeting. So, other than that, yeah, so me and Fix, we're working on something very exciting that we would not divulge too much detail on just because it's still really early stage and we don't want to say anything that we would come to regret, and we don't want to overpromise, we rather underpromise and overdeliver. But we are working on something very exciting that we think will grow the community and will really help push Atmos and the EOS form to make it a lot more appealing to the wider community. Fix, do you have anything to add on that front? Hello? Am I disconnected? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, you're here. I think Fixed, let me just tag him. Oh, there we go. He's disconnected. Perhaps he's lagging a little bit there.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Gotcha. He's back. He's back. Fix is back. Still can't hear him though, so.
I heard him say something briefly, but I'm going to assume that he is lagging a bit there.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you now.
All right, must be my headset. Sorry about that. Yeah, so
Oh, it sounds like you cut out again.
And we lost him.
Well, while Fix is getting his audio back, I'll talk a little bit about the foundation setup. So we reached out to 3 different foundation setup people who can help us out, and currently we have a couple calls that are going to take place sometime this weekend. We'll make a decision on what's going on later on this week, and hopefully we'll have everything set up by the New Year's. And
Yeah.
Fixed, are you back?
He is not.
Guess not.
Well, I guess I'll just kind of talk his part for him. So yeah, Fix and I,
Yep.
we're working very closely on interacting with the community, and there's gonna be something very exciting coming up before Christmas. So think of it, this is the Christmas present from Novusphere to you listeners and token holders. Yeah, don't want to give away too many detail, but we are working with a community that would be interested in expanding their scope, the community channels that they have on chain through our forum. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that'll be really awesome, especially if it's in line with what we discussed in previous meetings, which is getting more of the EOS community involved on the forum software, because it really provides a hub where all of the relating projects on EOS can discuss their project, and it's happening all directly on chain. And then slowly, we can sort of see all the different communities on EOS come together under the same platform, essentially.
Exactly. Sorry. Cool. Yeah, so do we have any questions from the audience? Roll Crypto. It's a trap. No, it's not a trap. It's a very pleasant surprise. Yeah, so we're super excited. This is just one of the many communities we are talking to. I guess I'm kind of spilling the beans here, but I think Fix is back on actually. But yeah, we're talking to many communities, and I really see with the UI improvement and with some of the changes we gotta make in terms of how the token would be used and allowing, like, we could turn Atmos, at least the form part, into a thing where if you're a project on EOS and you don't have a community represented on the form, you're doing something wrong. Like, that's the direction we want to go.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of the key is that we want to ingrain the forum into kind of everything within the EOS community. So if you're not there, then no one's going to take your project seriously. And that's kind of what we need to get the mind share set up at.
The GitHub of EOS. Would you say that comparison is accurate? It's like asphyxia?
Sorry, what's the comparison?
It would be the GitHub of EOS.
Well, maybe not for code, but I think maybe
Uh-huh.
a better way of putting it will be like the Bitcoin talk of EOS.
Right.
Really
Yeah.
a bigger community-oriented forum where everyone can sort of talk about all their EOS projects on there. And of course, though, we're not limiting the forum to only EOS projects. Eventually, we are going to start expanding outside of the EOS community and infrastructure as well to other crypto communities and or communities completely outside of crypto altogether.
Exactly. I think since we're operating with the EOS technology, we're gonna focus on the EOS community right now, and we're gonna I think we're gonna have the best onboard solution. With some of the things we're working on, it will be the easiest way in collaboration with these communities we're building. It will be the easiest way to get entry into the EOS ecosystem. It'd be easier than getting a wallet and paying for a EOS account. You will be able to do things before you even have a EOS account. So it'd be super exciting.
Okay, I think that's about it then for our updates this week, unless anyone else on the team has anything that they'd like to go over.
No, think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Okay, thank you guys for coming out to this week's meeting. So just wanted to mention one thing that we are planning on changing with meetings. We will be starting to post some summaries in the meetup chat after meetings for those who don't attend the meetings and maybe don't have the time or English proficiency to be able to listen to the meetings. So I think that should help a lot in terms of community engagement and helping the community stay up to date with what's going on. So again, thank you guys for coming out to the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. If you are watching this video after we have finished the meeting, you can always find us on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook. I'll leave all the links down in the description below so you know exactly where to find us. And again, we have our meetings, public meetings, live on Monday, 12 a.m. London time. Sorry, I don't know what time zone I should use, but I think that's good enough. And you can always join us to comment and chat. Again, you could chat through Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, whatever platform that you prefer. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, thank you very much. Bye.